Hello everyone and welcome back to Beatly Tone's Beatles channel. Lovely to have you here. Thanks for joining me for this video and I hope you're all doing well. Now the other day I was watching a video made by my good friend Larry Graves on his Canadian Stud Muffin channel, which if you don't know, it's a fantastic channel. Larry's a big Beatles fan. He does a lot of Beatle related videos. He does lots of videos on other artists as well. He does comedy stuff. He's just a very creative guy and he's got a great channel. So if you don't know it, please check it out. Anyway, on his channel, he was playing the age-old game of trying to whittle down the Beatles' White Album into one fantastic single disc album. This, I'd imagine, is a game that has been played since the day after the White Album came out. I don't know how they played it back in 1968. I guess you just argued amongst your friends which would be the best tracks to make a single disc White Album. But I do remember in the sort of the pre-YouTube days that you could go on to any number of Beatles fan forums on the internet and you would always find a live thread about people arguing about what would be what would make the perfect single disc White Album, and every one of them not coming up with the same selection of songs, and that is the beauty of this album. Now in Larry's video, he invited people, viewers down in the comments, to make up their own perfect White Album. And, I said, rather than me do it down in the comments, because I need to think about this, because this is serious stuff. I need to go away and think about it. What I'll do is I'll do my own video on it and give you the credit. So he said that's fine. So that is what I'm doing. And if you have got a YouTube channel and you want to play along with this game and make a video, then please feel free to do so. For the rest of you that don't have YouTube channels and you want to play along, you've got the comments down below. So we're going to try and come up with a perfect single disc White Album. Now the thing about this White Album is that back in the day, or a few years ago or whatever, George Martin said, I think the White Album is a little bit overblown and it would have made a fantastic single disc album. But you know what, with 30 tracks that it's got, it makes an absolutely fantastic double album as well. Now I first heard and got the White Album in 1976, and this is the actual copy that I bought. There is the number on it, 240170240,000, 240,000, and that was in 1976. And in the 47 years that have passed since I first heard the White Album, I must have heard thousands and thousands of albums, but in all that time I still haven't found an album that I like more than I like the White Album. It is my favourite album of all time, and to whittle this down into a single album is going to be very difficult, because I wouldn't want to be without a single track from this album, because it all makes up this enormous opus, 30 track opus that we all love. But I'm going to attempt to do it. Now in Larry's video, which I will link down in the description if you want to go and watch it, Larry set out some parameters, and his parameters were that he didn't give you a number of tracks that you had to stick to, but he did, the way that he did it quite scientifically, in so much as he wanted to make an album with enough tracks on it to be roughly the same length in time as one of the White Album discs, so coming in around sort of 24-25 minutes. That was one of his parameters. The other parameters were you weren't allowed to start the album with Back in the USSR, and you weren't allowed to end it with Good Night. He also stipulated that you had to have 2 tracks by George Harrison and 1 track sung by Ringo Starr. Those were his parameters. So I'll tell you about, I'm gonna flout those rules a little bit, and I'll tell you what my rules are in a minute. But first, a word from our sponsor.
You know, I'm not a great one for that. You know, maybe it was too many of that. Look, what do you mean? It was great. It's sold. It's the bloody Beatles' White Album. Shut up.
Of course, he's absolutely right. You cannot argue with that. And when I look at the songs that I've had to reject to come up with my single disc White Album, it's absolutely criminal, the stuff that I am throwing out. And, you know, I'm thinking that if we were to make a second single disc White Album of all the stuff that I've left out, it's probably coming, you know, maybe top 5, top 6 of it, of my Beatles album ranking. So, you know, there you go. You know, because the White Album is this, you know, it is this colossal 30-song opus that covers, you know, every imaginable genre. We've got rock, we've got pop, we've got beautiful ballads, we've got avant-garde, we've got blues, we've got country, we've got 1920s sort of, you know, pastiche. We've got all this sort of stuff. We've got every genre is covered, and even a couple that haven't even been invented yet. So we wouldn't want to be without any of it. Even Revolution 9 has got its place on this album, but luckily we don't have to be without any of it, because this is just make believe. It's just for fun, and you know, we're just coming up, each of us, with our own you know, best single disc album. So my rules are, because there are 30 songs on the album, I'm asking for 15 songs, cutting it straight down the middle. Doesn't matter about the timings, but your best 15 songs. You don't have to you know, you can start and end the album how you like, and you can have as many George Harrison or Ringo Starr songs in it as you want. If you want to, you know, if you want to do your list according to those rules, that's absolutely fine. If you want to do them according to Larry's rules, that is absolutely fine as well. So when I started working out what would be included, I managed to get it down to 16 songs fairly quickly, but I still had to lose one of them, and it was a toss-up between Sexy Sadie and I'm So Tired, and having to choose between those two songs was a bit like choosing a favourite testicle, but I made that call. So I'm not going to go into the merits of each of the songs, because I think that's something for a deep dive review of the album. I'm not going to say why they're here, because the reason they're in the list is because they're in my top 15 songs. So that's pretty much the reason. What I am going to try and do is try and arrange them in an order that makes the album flow. And that's not very easy with the White Album, because I say there's so many genres. You know, the White Album in its very nature is very sort of, you know, here, there and everywhere, if you like. So it's quite difficult to make something that flows very well, but I'm gonna give it a go anyway. So here we go. So track 1, side 1, to open the album, which I think sets the scene for just how off its head the White Album is gonna be. I've gone for Everybody's Got Something to Hide, except for Me and My Monkey, absolute belter of a song to kick the album off. Second up, I'm gonna tone it right down. I've gone for I Will, Paul's beautiful ballad from side 2. Then track 3, I've gone again back to side 3 of the album for Sexy Sadie. That was the winner of that little battle between Sexy Sadie and I'm So Tired. I'm so gutted to not have been able to include I'm So Tired on this album, but it only just missed out. Track 4 on side 1 is the first of 2 George Harrison songs that I've included on this album. While My Guitar Gently Weeps, just an absolutely amazing song. For my money, George's best song that he wrote for the Beatles. Track 5, I'm going back to side 3 again for Your Blues, brilliant song. Then again from side 3, I've gone for Paul's Delicate Mother Nature's Son, and I'm ending side 1 with the opening song from side 4 of the album Revolution 1. Just love those, you know, shooby-doo-wops. I think they add something to the song, and there's a great version of the Beatles doing the fast version, but including the shooby-doo-wops in it as well, which is probably the best version of the 3. So that is side 1 for me. Now side 2, I'm starting off again with an out-and-out rocker. Helter Skelter is the one that I'm going for. Obviously the stereo version, because we're not going to do away with the I've Got Blisters on My Fingers, which incidentally I do have a blister on my finger. That's why I've got that plaster on as well. That's the remnants of the gig that I played on Saturday night. Okay, so track 2, I'm going for Cry Baby Cry. I'm bringing it up the list. This is from side 4, obviously, and you know, I feel it gets a little bit lost, you know, just before Revolution 9. So it's coming up to track 2, side 2. For track 3, I'm going back to side 2 with the opening track from that side, Martha My Dear, brilliant song. And I'm following that up with John's beautiful ballad, Julia, as track number 4. Track 5 is the absolutely criminally underrated Long George Harrison song. I just absolutely love that song. And I'm following that up with Dear Prudence from side 1, which again is another just fantastic song. Track 7 is going to be Paul's amazing Blackbird, and I am closing the album with track 8 from side 1, Happiness is a Warm Gun. I just think that song with its 5 different parts is just, again, really an underrated song. Brilliant song. And I think that the kind of the combination of Ringo's kick drum and floor tom, that final beat at the end of the song, is just a great way to end the album. It's a real sort of final moment. So those are my 15 songs. There isn't a single song on the White Album that I don't like, but you've got to leave some of them out for this game. And from a statistical point of view, from my 15 songs, I picked 3 from side 1, 4 from side 2, 6 out of 7 from side 3, but only 2 from side 4, which was interesting when I look at the quality of the songs that I've left out. Back in the USSR is the biggie. I'm sure that's going to appear on most people's top 15. Also Birthday has been left out. Glass Onion, which I love. I'm So Tired, which I love. Rocky Raccoon, which I love. Why Don't We Do It in the Road, which I love. You know, the list goes on and on and on. I think that looking at my list, maybe I've gone a little bit light on rock and more stronger on ballads, but these I think are my favourite songs from the album. And now it's over to you. So if you're a YouTuber and you want to make a video, please do. If you do make a video, please tell me down in the comments that you've made a video, and I will go and watch it. If you don't have a YouTube channel and you want to play along, let's have your 15 songs. And I think what I'll do, I'll leave it maybe a month for everyone to see the video and to comment. And what I'll do is I'll compile the results of everybody's suggestions. So we'll pick 15 of the best. We'll put the 15 highest ranking songs, in other words, the 15 songs that people vote for the most. I'll also include the songs that Larry included in his video, and of course anyone who makes a YouTube video, I'll include their songs as well. I'll top them all up, and we'll come up with a Beatly Tone's Beatles channel single disc White Album as voted for by the viewers. So that's something coming in the future. So please, do tell me down in the comments your top 15 songs to make your perfect one disc white album. And you know, I read all your comments, I will respond to all your comments. Okay, that is pretty much it for this video. If you've liked this video, please spend a second of your life giving it the thumbs up. It really helps the channel and helps the videos get out there. If you're seeing this channel for the first time and you like what you see, please consider supporting the channel by subscribing. Love to have you on board. Okay, well, that is it for me. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'm sure you're going to tell me what you think of my, you know, single disc white album. And you know what, I don't expect anyone who comments down in the comments, I don't expect anyone to come up with the same 15 songs. I think everyone will probably come up with a different set of 15 songs. So if you're going to play along, good luck with that. Have fun with it, and I will see you all very soon. Bye bye.